It's kind of funny uploading these videos because my storage fills up so fast. I'm not paying attention. I gotta delete the video a lot of times before if it's like 20 minutes. So if I'm not editing any of this stuff yet, nor do I want to spend the time to do it. But these talks, because most of the time I'm just gonna pick up from where I left off, which kind of sucks because I would like to record immediately, once it's done recording, but I gotta upload the video, which takes time, and it converts, and uses battery power on my phone, which I need a better phone and better speed, so I can upload faster. But, that takes time, so you guys miss out on stuff. So I was talking about food, and the oven, and, tonight I gotta do a lot tonight, clean and, finish packing up, and so I didn't really want to cook tonight, and this lady's buying supposed to be buying my fridge. She said she's coming, so we'll see. People always say that, and they never show up. When, if they don't come right away, usually, they're not coming at all for the most part. But, if you communicate well with people and tell them your situation, you can, you can push people, you can put it in their head and, tell them, that you gotta leave and stuff, But, make sure it's legit, make sure you really gotta leave. That's why it's genuine, Don't lie to them, just be honest with them. Tell them what you're doing. That way they, they know that you're a real person, you're not trying to scam them or, what I mean? You're not, people, man, listen, I read people. You gotta learn how to read people. That's the number one thing in life. You gotta learn how to read people, and that's hard to do. Because people lie. People put on a mask, a persona, so that's not really them. So if you're, well, it is, but, that's how they are, but you can't get the truth, you don't know the truth, you know what I mean? You don't know what they did, what they didn't do, because most of them lie anyways, and so that's why I sit back and watch people a lot before I even, open up to them. But I cook a lot, and I got cooking skills, so I'll be talking about cooking a lot because I'm be traveling around the world and making different dishes and stuff, and experience different cultures and food. And Margarita has introduced me to a lot, and she's traveled the world more than me. The woman speaks 3 languages, for God's sake, but to get the best pizza, man, I'm telling you, these Red Baron pizzas and stuff, don't even put them on a tray. Don't. I'm serious. Don't put them on a tray. Just put the fucking rack all the way on the top and cook it slow. Listen, cook it slow. If you want it nice and crispy and, browned all the way around and stuff, cook it slow. So, say if it says 375 or, 350, put on 325 or 300. And then just add a few minutes to it, Keep checking up on it. And, I'm telling you, the pizza will come out so much better. I hate this oven sometimes because the spring, when you pull down the oven, it's stupid. When you pull this down, it just pops back up. So you gotta fucking hold it down with one hand and then, put the shit in there. It makes it fucking stupid. Listen, stupid. But I don't, the oven, I got a good deal on it. I needed an oven right away because the one that was here took a shit. The igniter went bad on the stove, and I replaced it. It didn't work still. Then I put the old one back on. I cleaned it. I got it to work for a minute again, and then it just stopped again. So I was like, "Fuck this, dude! I'm tired of this." I have to have an oven. So, which is another topic I want to speak about. An oven. So I'm used to cooking in an oven, right? Mexicans, they don't use the oven, man. Listen, they don't. If you travel and margarita they use, listen, man, you know how we have junk drawers in America? We throw junk and shit? Listen, they use the oven as a junk drawer. They all cook, but Mexican culture, Mexican food, it's all stovetop food, most of the time. They don't cook like us. So they use the oven for storage. And if you go on Facebook and you look at their Facebooks and stuff, they make funny ass things, you know what I mean? Because people are always losing their stuff and don't know, where the stuff is. You know, and people always, like, the Mexicans, the Spanish people always making jokes because they're like, well, just go look in the oven. It's probably in the oven. And then, like, you'll see, like, it's funny because they'll have, like, like a wife, a woman, and they'll make pictures, art, and they'll have, like, the woman is pulling out the mattress out of the stove, she's pulling her purse or keys, and then, like, her kid is stuck in there, you know what I mean? Like, it's just hilarious. But that's why I want to share this stuff with you guys, and I gotta get another SD card, man. It's filling up so fast, so I apologize if it cuts out, I already mentioned that, but it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it, until I get SD card, and I really want another phone. I gotta get that cat phone, and those ain't cheap, so, and I want to make sure it has a lot of data storage on it, so I gotta, do all that. And, so, my last video, I mentioned that I accidentally deleted some footage, the video of us. Well, I technically could get it back. If I rooted my Android phone and I downloaded some apps that give me root access, I'd be able to restore that data. Like phone numbers, all that stuff. I can recover all that stuff, like forensic analysis on hard drives. That's my specialty. I know how to do all that stuff. But it's not worth it, First of all, when you root an Android phone, it voids a warranty. A lot of times, because you have access to the file system, you have access to the proprietary software on the phone, which is like the software that, Google develops, or Samsung, for instance, right? You buy a Samsung phone, it's Android, right, which is open source. They take the operating system for free, and then they develop it, they'll program make their own apps, their own Samsung apps. And since they're Samsung apps, and they're proprietary, it's only their software that runs on their equipment, they don't want people to have access to that stuff and see how their programs work, and copy them. So, that's why they lock that stuff down, and, that's why if you want full access to your operating system, you have to root your Android. You have to gain full access, and that's what that hashtag is, like root. When I go on my laptop that you guys seen in one of the other videos, that's what root means. Is you're in the system directory, and it's got a pound key, which has meaning behind it, which actually there's some meaning behind it in the Bible, which I've been studying, because not only do I study weather, I study language, I study a lot of stuff, I read a lot. I gotta make sure I have a Alexa, by the way, and she works, but Alexa, set timer. Let's see, it's not even on. Alexa, set timer.
How long should I set the timer for?
10 minutes?
10 minutes, starting now. By the way, time goes faster with music on. Just say, play music.
So that's another thing. So I've been developing stuff, programming stuff. I gotta use the Amazon Alexa for a lot of things. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. So not only does she speak Spanish, she does language. She helps me with stuff. She helps me with school. I'm gonna be bouncing around a lot. I apologize. I got everything going on. You guys will. It will all come together, you guys will learn. But I gotta use the Alexa. I wanna be able to control my lights and stuff, which I already do, but I gotta do it in the boat. And, I wanna be able to connect my boat and be able to eventually kind of maybe sail my boat electronically. They do have them, like these big ass $1 million yachts. They got computers that chart out, you can chart out a plan, a route, plan it. And then the mast, the GPS will move, the servos, and will adjust the pitch, and the sail and all that stuff according to, the route you're supposed to take, which would be convenient, you know what I mean? But then it takes the fun out of the sailing, and I'm sailing a small boat, But eventually, if I get a bigger boat, I I might like having that, you know what I mean? And having it, you know, say I'm on the water and, you know, I got to get some hours in, you know, and it's a really nice day and it's not choppy. And people, you know, like the people I'm chartering, they can go out and swim, you know what I mean, in the bay. But I still got to go, you know, I got to, like, I mean, along the coast, you know, but I'm moving. So I can put that on co-pilot in a sense, you know, and I can go on deck and help out with Margarita, you know, and you know, interact with the people and stuff, you know, because that's, you know, that's part of it, you know, that's, you know, they're going to be paying for not only me, you know, taking them around, you know, they're going to be paying for my knowledge and my, you know, my spiritual retreat, you know, they're going to be on the boat with me, you know, doing the yoga and practicing this stuff, you know, and they're going to, you know, I'm hoping they come back. So I'm hoping I find, you know, really cool couples out there that, you know, want to sail or be on the sailboat, but, you know, that's not their passion, you know, they want to go on like a honeymoon trip or something, you know, with their wife, and that's what I'm looking to do, you know, I want to take out couples that are getting married, you know, that's like my goal, that's one of my goals, to provide, and meet people, you know, on charter, and then chasing storms, that's, you know, I told you guys, my dream was to be a weatherman, and, not like the weatherman in a sense, you know, in front of the camera on the news, which I wanted to do, you know, but I was shy back then. That's another thing. That's kind of why I started smoking pot too. I was really shy, and it helped, you know, with me. Like, I didn't have friends, man, until I was, you know, in middle school. Like, I had friends, obviously, but I didn't get along with people, man, and I always felt like out of place, you know, I didn't feel like I had somewhere, you know, and when I moved to Redford, Brightmoor area, that's when I started smoking pot. Well, I started smoking pot before then, but I wasn't smoking it on a daily basis. Not until I moved to Redford, when, you know, I started smoking pot like 9, 10, you know, on the weekends, I would steal like my brother's roaches and stuff and go hide out, you know, behind the trailer and whatnot. You know, 8 years old I was smoking, man. 8, 9 years old I was smoking pot already. Serious, and cigarettes. And, but I wasn't smoking continuously every day until about 12, 13. Like, 11, that summer, 11 years old, between 11 and 12, that's when it became an everyday thing. 6th grade summer, I'm going into 7th grade. And then moving out to Radford, you know, everybody smoked pot at my age, you know, in my area, for the most part, you know. And it was crazy because you moved to Dearborn, where I was before, it wasn't like that, you know, so when I moved out, you know, when I go out to Livonia and stuff, it was like the same thing, you know, all the kids, you know, they didn't smoke pot, you know, a lot of them didn't, you know, they were all naive. Not all of them, you know, but for the most part they were, you know, kids my age. So that was like another frustrating thing, you know, growing up, you know, always feeling like I don't have friends and stuff because of, you know, my situation, my health problems when I was a kid growing up, and, you know, I mentioned it in other videos. So I'm really just waiting for food. I'm excited, I'm super hungry. I only had cereal today, man. That's it. Cereal and some coffee. I drank a thing of coffee. I haven't ate all day, so I'm about to drink that Red Bull. I want to drink it now, but I'm kind of waiting for the pizza, you know, to be done. So I gotta get all this glass. I already packed up, so I got Margarita, her mom, some stuff for when I go down there. In here I got a bunch of china. It's from Ireland, man. It's beautiful. Look, I got this for her mom for when I go down there, you know, and ask her mom for her hand, for Margarita's hand. Look at this, man. Like, that's so pretty. And it's, you know, it says Celt Craft, designed by Noratake, Ireland. It's not cheap, man. This stuff wasn't cheap. And I already broke one bowl, which kind of upsets me. So, you know, I gotta wrap all the other glass, and it's making me nervous. I got it wrapped up in the towel. And I found, because I got to bring this down to Mexico City with me, you know, and get this through customs in the border, you know, and so it's heavy too. And I put it in this cooler, the Motor City cooler, because it's got, you know, it's got this padding. Yeah, dude, and it's heavy. I got plates. There's like 30 plates in there and bowls, and they're all matching, you know. I got the big plates, the small plates, you know, the matching bowls for her. There's some cups in there, you know, and that it's all nice stuff, you know. I was thinking about, I really want to put this on my sailboat, you know. You know, and look, it's a little tea set, you know, for margarita, but it also matches those plates. They're not the same stuff. It's a different it's still Keltcraft, and I think it's the same kit. I don't know. When I bought it, they look similar, you know, but they're just the flowers, there's no birds. So that's why I was thinking it was different, but I think they go together. I got them all at the same time. It was an estate sale, you know. And I got this too, you know, the shot shakers, and you know, like this stuff isn't cheap, man. You can't replace this stuff, you know. I got this, you know, this, and I love glass. You know, I put my apples and oranges and my bananas, my fruit, you know, and leave it on the table. That's how I like it. So, and I still got all this stuff too I gotta figure out. And I don't have any boxes, man. I gotta go figure that out probably tomorrow or the next day. Probably tomorrow. I think I'm gonna go to the post office tomorrow too and see about getting a P.O. box. I gotta have one soon, like ASAP. I've been meaning to get it, just been putting it off, you know, there's so much going on, all this. Trying to figure all this stuff out, you know, figure out what I want. And like this stuff, for instance, right? I did an airbag install on a car for a customer. And they left me all the fittings and all the extra stuff. So I have all these air valves for, you know, airbag system for the car, but I listed them for $200 for everything, and I even got the controller, you know, like the DVS controller, you know, that, or AVS. I got the controller for it. OVS, I think it's AVS, yeah, avsontheweb.com. It's pretty good company. I like them. The systems, the air slammet kits are nice. I like them. They're high quality stuff, and every time I've done a car or installed, you know, airbags on one, they've always lasted. I've never had a friend or a customer come back, you know, complaining about it. So, but I think I'm gonna keep them. I was thinking, you know, after I listed them, you know, I was talking to God about, you know, everything. I gotta go check my pizza. But I can use that stuff on the sailboat, you know. I might need to run, you know, airlines or something, or, you know, all types of stuff, you know. And they're controlled. They're electronically controlled. So, you know, that gives me options when I'm trying, you know. I can control it with my computer, you know. So I can control the airflow on those things, you know. I can flip them and whatnot, you know, with my computer remotely. If I have internet data on the, you know. So I can do all that stuff, you know. And that's the thing too, is say I use that, right? And I decide to do that. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to communicate with it, you know, how, you know, what, if there's already a program out there similar, or, you know, how am I going to communicate with it? And that's where these Arduinos come in, and these Raspberry Pis and all that. You know, I got to get a couple of them and development boards so I can use them, you know what I mean, to communicate with all my systems. And that's why I like all this weather stuff and everything. It's going to be, this winter is really important for me to get on the boat and, you know, start, you know, setting all that stuff up and debugging everything, you know, and, you know, and I know I'm going to run into problems, you know, and it's all, a lot of this stuff, you know, hasn't been done before, you know, and they don't have, you know, the stuff, you know, and they have this stuff too. They do have this stuff, and I can't afford all of it. So, you know, and even if I did have the money, I wouldn't buy all that stuff because it's gonna take the fun out of it for me, you know? That's what I like to do. I like to tinker with stuff and build stuff. So why am I gonna go spend $5,000, for example, on that device? And, you know, it does everything I needed to do, but, you know, it's weird. It's crazy, man. You know, I got so much going on. Trying to figure all that out is hard. It is. I gotta cook my pizza for a little bit longer. It's almost done. And then I'm gonna eat that, and I'm gonna drink the Red Bull. I'm gonna do the dishes. I've been lazy, man. That's all I do. Like, I haven't been lazy, I've just been lazy doing the dishes. All that stuff is clean. I just gotta clean that. And that's from riding, you know, and like, usually I don't do that. That's what's crazy is I usually wash my dishes right after, and put them in the thing, but I lost my necklace and I've been kind of fucked up over it, and my dog tags and my ring and everything that's going on, and talking about it, which is, you know, it's been helpful, but I save these Fiji bottles a lot and I fill them up with water, but I already have a bunch of them, and it's just getting in the way. You know, and all this stuff. I really hope this lady comes and gets this fridge tomorrow. I don't want to stick it in the storage unit. I don't. I really don't. Let's see, I got my cooler. That's another thing. I don't even have the car yet, so it's so hard to say, you know, figure out exactly what I want and where I'm going to put it, you know, because I don't know what car I'm going to get yet. It's going to be a 4-cylinder. It's going to be a manual. I'm shooting for the smallest as possible, you know, for gas-wise and stuff, and, you know, just, you know, global warming, all that stuff, you know, I don't want to, you know, put out a lot of gas and stuff. That's another thing with my truck. You know, it hurts me, you know, I love trucks, I love cars and, you know, fast cars and all this stuff, so it kind of frustrates me, you know.